Today I am so excited because I am going in for an ultrasound and I kind of miss my babies. Even though they're here all the time, it's like I miss seeing them on the screen. So I'm excited to, just check on their growth. That is what the purpose of this ultrasound is. It's to check growth. So we're going to be measuring, the length of their bodies, the weight, and then also like all of their organs, which I don't know how many are developed at this point. It might be like a significant amount. I'm not sure. I'm 16 weeks along. But anyway, I will update you guys when I am back. And I just want to make a side note that it's so freaking cold in Chicago right now. Like, it's 18 degrees. And I hate like shivering because I feel like my whole body gets super tense. Like, I have tension in my shoulders and in my back, and I'll even contract my abdomen because of how cold I am sometimes, and I feel like I'm just like squishing the babies. But anyway, I'll keep you updated. I'll talk to you guys when I get back. Guys, we got her. It's really long. Wait, hold on. I feel like a magician pulling stuff out of the hat. We had our ultrasound. So actually, I did not record immediately after my 16-week appointment because I misplaced my ultrasound pictures. And I finally found them. So I'm recording now. And yeah, I just wanted to share the pictures. And at this point, this is going to be a 16 to 18 week update. So, let's start at the 16-week appointment. It went very well. It was super awesome because we got a lot of 3D shots. So let me see. I'm going to put some in the video, but like hopefully you can see some of these. Look at these little guys. Look at that. Hold on. Let me give you another one. You can see both of them in this one. And my little guys, oh my gosh, it's so crazy how much they grow. I know this was like every time I had an appointment with my first pregnancy, I'd always be like, oh my gosh, they've grown so much, or he's grown so much. But it's so crazy every time because like they're just these like little things that are exponentially growing, and you have no kind of concept other than obviously your belly getting bigger, but like until you see the detail difference that you realize how much has developed, because there's like so many more details. Skeleton is forming, at least between 16 and 18 weeks. Full skeleton is forming, more organs. Heart is working like a real heart at this point. They're swallowing, they're doing different things in terms of like motions, fine motor skills. I even read that they have vernix at this point. I think this is more like around the 18-week mark. But anyway, yeah, so I'm so excited to share these pictures with friends and family because they're so cool. I know they look like little aliens, but they're still cute to me. So let's talk about what we did in our 16-week visit. So in that visit, I actually didn't meet with the high risk specialist. So I didn't meet with the doctor herself. I met with, there's basically a dedicated team of physicians, assistant physicians that are on the maternal fetal medicine side. So I met with one of those doctors, and she was able to, review my ultrasound with me. All the results came from there. And she shared that the babies are weighing in at 6 ounces and 5 ounces. So 1 ounce difference, right on point. Growth overall for organs and just all the different benchmarks that they're looking at, right on par. So everything is looking good. I did ask her at that appointment to clarify the protocol there, what they do when it comes to monodi twins to monitor for any early signs of TTTS, twin transfusion syndrome. I mentioned it in my last video. Also, if you haven't checked that out, I will post it up here. What they do for the, on the precautionary and preventive side is they constantly are measuring certain organs and the fluid around the babies. And if anything seems off, they consider whether or not I should go see maternal fetal medicine department at Lurie's, which is where I would do any kind of procedures related to TTTS. So the laser procedure, where they cut off the blood vessels that are basically oversupplying one baby, all that stuff. So they don't necessarily use a Doppler immediately, or they're not using it consistently at every single visit. And I know that was like, or something that I read was like, make sure they use a Doppler to track, you know, to track the blood supply and the placenta and yada, yada, yada. So that's just not something that they do automatically. They're looking for signs with other measurements before they go that route and use a Doppler and, you know, have me consult with a doctor who would actually do a procedure to prevent any further transfusion. In terms of how I'm feeling, so my back has been hurting, and I don't think it's just because I'm pregnant. Like, it's not like I'm pregnant so my back is hurting. It's more so like my son is still getting in the bed with us, which is a 4-year-old grown man, still getting in the bed with us, and sometimes I'm like knocked out and then I'll wake up and he's like laying on me, and so I'm not getting comfortable sleep, so he's gotta hit the road. We have tried. He gets put in his bed and comes right back in ours. So yeah, any tips, moms, please leave them in the comments. I don't know if he's like scared to be in his room. He hasn't expressed anything like that. He's just clingy, and it's a bad habit that, you know, me as a parent, I allowed. And at this point I'm paying for it. So sleep has not been the greatest, or like I'll wake up and my back hurts. And for that reason, I scheduled a visit with a chiropractor. I did see a chiropractor with my first pregnancy, and we did just like very, you know, basic treatment. It wasn't necessarily like prenatal treatment, but we would do prenatal massages once a week and some alignment. Nothing crazy, but it did help a lot. But yeah, it motivated me to start seeing a chiropractor again. So he taught me some stuff to do at home, very basic stuff that like some people already do with their normal stretching, but I would highly encourage moms to do it if you just want to, you know, help your hips. And naturally, what happens during pregnancy is your pelvis tilts, you know, to compensate. Your back is basically overcompensating to carry the weight of your stomach, and that's why you get that little curve. So it's a natural thing, but what you can do is kind of just be on top of it and try to relieve the stress in that lower back area by literally tucking your tailbone underneath. So it's like, you know, if you stick your butt out and then you like pull it in, like kind of squeeze it in when you're standing. That's one exercise, is to always, you know, just do that a few times. And then you also can do like a long lunge position and just kind of lean into it, stretch out the groin and hip area. And so really it's just like stretching out, you know, my hips and trying to fix my lower back pains with some basic treatments at home. Then when I go in, we do some alignment, we do some massage work, prenatal massage work, and yeah, all that. I want to really quickly move on to what I'm feeling now at 18 weeks in terms of symptoms, and then kind of like a combo of what I'm feeling now and things that I did not realize would happen to me. But I don't know if it's because I'm having twins or because I'm older than when I had my first son. I've got like different symptoms, and I'm just like, what is going on? So I'm going to share a little bit about that to help prepare you as a mother, just in case you experience this. So what am I feeling? Nausea, gone. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm not nauseous anymore, and I eat everything at this point. Smells don't bother me, and yeah, I feel pretty good. Energy back to a normal level, which is great because for those that don't know, I'm a student and I'm constantly up all night doing homework. So yes, not only am I pregnant with twins, but I am doing homework and I work. So I really, really needed the energy to come back, and it's back. So those are some positives, and then some new stuff. So I have been more out of breath lately, and I definitely have gained about, I think, 11 pounds total so far, which is already like a lot more than my first pregnancy. I'm 4.5 months, and I think I'm really feeling it. I'm sure there's other factors. I know my heart's working a little bit harder, things like that. Another thing that this is one of those like things I wanted to share that I didn't realize happened, and it didn't happen in my first pregnancy: congestion. I have like constant congestion, and it's not super bad where I have like mucus, but it does affect my breathing. So yeah, even doing this video, I'm like, okay. So here's a fun one. Not really. I have experienced round ligament pain. My chiropractor was able to share with me why that is. And this is all related to the lower back, overcompensating, weak hips, and therefore putting a strain on the ligaments that are in your abdomen muscles. So it's all, it all goes hand in hand. The whole lower body area is being affected, which makes sense. But yeah, I have these round ligament pains for sure on the right side, sometimes on the left side. And for those that don't know what that is, basically it's like when you use your ab muscles, when you use your core, you'll get like a shooting pain of like, the best way to describe it is like a guitar was just strummed. It's a ligament, so it like literally feels like a guitar was just strummed in your ab muscles, and it really is shocking. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it's just like, whoa. It feels like a muscle contraction, super weird. I never knew that was a thing, but it's super popular for women in their second trimester of pregnancy. So heads up, you might experience that. I'm sure there's things that you can do like strengthening your hips, flexibility and stuff like that. But the reality is when your belly exponentially is growing, your ligaments like can't keep up. Okay, so another symptom, constipation, the C word. Yeah, it's really bad. I know this is TMI, but it's just facts. And I think it happens in general during pregnancy because of pregnancy, but I think in my scenario, it's happening because of my prenatal vitamins. I'm taking like higher dosages of every single type of vitamin. I'm basically following the recommendations for twins and DHA. So, yeah, it's quite unfortunate. So to combat that, stool softeners, lots of water. Lamar has been making green juices, and that has been helping. Been very regular on this little green juice diet. Let's talk about my 18-week appointment, because yes, at this point I have already had another appointment, and we did a little bit of an anatomy. Normally you do that around 20 weeks, I guess between 18 and 20. So we did as much as we could. Given the fact that there are two, it's a little bit more time consuming to measure each and every bone of each baby. It took about an hour for one baby, and then we did about 40 minutes or maybe a little bit less than that for the second baby. There's still a couple of things that we need to measure at the next appointment, which is going to be the 20-week appointment. But we did a full anatomy scan. The ultrasound tech let me know that we're no longer measuring, or I'm no longer going to get measurements for like total body length of the babies. Now they're measuring, just like limbs and stuff like that. But I'll still get the weight. So this week, this appointment, they were coming in at 8 ounces and 9 ounces. So some nice little fillets, nice little salmon fillets. It's just crazy because like comparing them to salmon fillets is like, oh, you guys are like real people. But yeah, It's awesome. They were super active and I have been feeling them. Oh, they're kicking already. And I mean, not kicking already. They have been already, but I'm feeling the kicks already. I would say I started feeling them early on, maybe like at the 16-week mark, but it was still like that flutter feeling. It wasn't super prominent yet, but now I can feel and see kicks, which is crazy because they are kind of small still, but it is because they don't have a lot of room. They are fighting for some room. They have a lot of fluid still, and they are still able to do like full-on flips. So like while we were doing this anatomy scan, of course they were like doing 360 turns and all kinds of stuff. So that was fun. Actually, one of them waved high. It was super cute. I got to see them swallow. I got to see them suck their thumbs. They were doing a lot, and I definitely don't want to miss out on sharing that I got to see one of them kick his brother in the head. Yes. So I don't even know if that's like not dangerous. I'm like, dang, can you imagine being a newborn baby and being like completely clean slated mind, have nothing, basically no emotions just yet, but just like hormones and body parts and limbs, and then you just get kicked in the head. Like, what the heck? What are you supposed to make of that? But anyway, so yeah, I saw that happen. The nurse and I'm sorry, the ultrasound tech and I were like cracking up. But yeah, I guess that's what's happening in there. We always say that they're fighting in there because when I feel the kicks and the movement and stuff like that, I'm like, dang, are they like, you know, like climbing on top of each other? But yes, this is legitimately what it looks like when we look at it through ultrasound. And I think that's about it for that appointment. It was super lengthy. I don't even remember the measurements that we didn't get. Also, I heard the heartbeats, which I hadn't heard yet. We have been measuring the heartbeats. I actually got to hear them yesterday, so I'm so happy about that. That was so exciting. There's nothing like hearing a heartbeat of your babies. It's one of those things that just makes it even more real. Like, yes, I am looking at all this movement and stuff like that, but man, that heartbeat is like, oh, pulls on my heartstrings. So yes, that is my update thus far. And before I forget, let's share what I look like now. So my shorts are pretty much at the end of my belly. So I have pretty evident round circle here. There's no more, you know, there's no more hiding it with like tight clothing. However, I can get away with it with hoodies. So it's not big enough just yet where I can't hide behind anything. And speaking of clothes, I really don't have much that fits. I know I said I'm not that big, but like for leggings and stuff like that, I have moved up a size already. And I think it's because my torso is really long. So these babies are sitting very low and high at the same time. So I can't wait for warmer weather when I can be a little scrappier with the things that I own already rather than having to buy a whole new wardrobe. So anyway, I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye.